it's a concept that I understand, but I never heard anybody else speak of it because it's been made a cult.
Go ahead.
But what you said, man, you said without the dragon and the key, there's no getting out.
Yeah, that's a whole thing. That's a whole nother thing to talk about. Yes,
right.
Yes. That's a big
dragon. And how do we get out? I was looking for keys as well. People wonder why I was interviewing Michael Aquino, and it's because my alter was trying to attack him in the astral to look for keys. Had him around the throat, and I said, "Tell me where the keys are." I mean, what are these keys?
I wanted to ask Max, what is that to you, man? What is the dragon and the key, man?
Okay, so when any monarch in the UK takes the throne, the Archbishop of Canterbury is the one who stands in front of the throne and says his piece. He has words to say, and he stands in front of the monarch, whether it's a king or a queen. And one of the last lines that is said is, "And the dragon gives you your power." Okay, this is what's said. Okay, so dragon is representative of Draco. Okay, when I said key, it can be a physical. If it can be a physical key, you can hold on to a physical key. You can find a physical key, but the key itself is what I meant is an ankh. Okay, you know what an ankh is?
Yes.
Okay, an ankh. When you see in Egyptian times when they're holding an ankh is actually a male and female symbol in one, right? So it's
that's the mystery, man.
Yes, it is, and that allows time travel. It also opens portals and doorways. Okay, so it would allow you to leave this frequency. Right. It would allow you to step out of this frequency.
Right, and that's the real mystery with all of this. Male and female need to come together.
Exactly, and that's why I said about the Mona Lisa.
Without that happening, man, with the manipulation of polarity, it's not happening.
Well, you know what what we're doing right now, even this conversation we're having right now, it seems like it's only small and affecting a few people. It's not. It's resonating massively.
It's rippling.
Yeah, it's resonating through way more than you could possibly imagine, out through the stratosphere. So, but by doing this, we're changing timelines. We're changing the way that people think. Even people who are not listening to it, they're being affected by it.
Right.
So let's. Let me go over what you just said, Max. So basically, the ankh is the male. I'll Google it later. It's the male and female symbol into one. So basically, we have to find our soulmates before we can escape.
That's an interesting one. I don't know if that you have to do that. I'm not sure if you have to do that, but
that's there. That's there, but it's the principle.
Exactly. It's more about the
principle of polarity that needs to be brought into balance on a massive scale. A massive scale, not just within the individual, but with everybody. And it must first happen within. And people, they really do need to wake up. It's in our faces now because the playing field's even now. The playing field's even, and they're being called out, and they're going to have to come out of the shadows. And
that's why they're trying to invert sexuality. That's why they're trying to do that. By inverting sexuality, they're taking away the divine masculine and feminine. The ankh itself represents the divine male and female in one thing.
Right.
Okay. So once we understand and can be a divine male and a divine female throughout the populace, then we sort of we raise the vibration and we step out of this time loop.
Yes.
Oh, that's interesting. And how do we do that? How do we become divine male and divine female?
You got to go through the process.
Go into your heart.
So go through the what?
You got to go through the process of initiation, and you got to get in, and you got to heal your own systems.
inside of yourself.
It's a lot of
it's the bringing of the heart. The heart is blocked. You bring the heart with unity of the being, the rest of your whole being, the heart.
Yes, because they can't get it. That's like I said earlier. That's the thing. That's the final thing they're trying to do. They've got to do that. Okay, for example, I did a post on that. When with Kurt Cobain, it's just an example here. He was somebody that the population, millions and millions and millions of people loved. And then he didn't kill himself, by the way. He was killed when he was murdered. The effect on the human heart, it was damaged collectively, damaged very, very powerfully. They want to do that. So 9/11, when 9/11 happened, it smashed the human heart again. So they're setting up a contrived incidents that will attack the human heart.
That Madeleine McCann going missing
again. Once again, same thing. Yes. All these pedophile rings. All these pedophile rings are also an attack on the human heart, because what they're doing is trying to destroy innocence. Innocence is when you're a child, you are most connected to heart. That's when you're free. You're most free. You are not bound by all the crap that happens as you get older. So by attacking and doing the things they do to children, they are destroying the innocence of the human being. Because remember, we are a collective. We are one thing, just broken into a billion pieces. So when you harm one thing, you're actually harming all.
They're doing a lot of amputations as well. Like my son was reading a book. They read these Darren Shan books, which are he's an occultist. He's a Satanist. He's even called his son Dante. And in the books that was read to my 11-year-old son as compulsory, and the head of English said they've been reading it for years now. This particular book, Cirque du Freak, and in this book, there's mutilations, there's blood suckings, there's blood spraying over the boys' faces. The boy then decides that being a normal member of his family is boring, and he wants to go with this older man and become a demon. So he climbs in a coffin, and then the older man comes and takes him, and he climbs on the back of the older man as the older man like sucks his fingers in a very sort of in and out the mouth way, and then they fly off together and become a serial killer. Now I tracked down Shan and I said, "You're disgusting." I said, "I want you to get all your books and take them out of schools." And he said, "Oh, I believe in Christ. My books are window dressing. The demons are window dressing." I said, "Come on, at the end of it, the boy ends up a serial killer." And he said, "No, they didn't serial kill the guy. They just sucked his blood." A jogger in the park.
That's all right then. Huh.
Yeah, that's all right then. What a piece of shit that is. Darren Shan.
What they do a lot is they do the recreation of what happened, because we're going through a reset of what happened in Egypt with Set and Osiris and
Max?
Well, essentially, any species that allows its children to be harmed, any species that does not protect its young, will terminate. So
the young
human
not with Read That. And the next book in the series was Tunnel of Blood, where there was a little boy in there that I'd complained about at the first school who was watching pornography. He was a little Polish boy. He was going on his laptop watching homosexual pornography. Now I complained to the school when he told my son, but seemingly everybody knew about it. The secretary at the school, who had a boy the same age, she said, "Oh, I just told my son to stay away from him." And I said, "What about the poor boy that he's doing that? What is he going to grow up to be like if he's doing that at age 10, for God's sake?" And that same boy, my son noticed, was lapping up Darren Shan and is reading ahead Tunnel of Blood and whatever filth that man puts out. And schools ignorantly, heads of English, let that go ahead. What I said to that head of English, "Have you read that?" But he's a best-selling author. Okay, right. Okay. I think we've lost Max, Miles.
He'll be back.
Okay. Are you still? Yeah, Seth, you're ahead. So Seth, do you want to carry on with what Max was saying, the recreation of what happened with Set? What happened there?
Well, the thing is about this realm is that we're all living on timelines and feedback loops that just keep on repeating themselves because we have been essentially trapped within the Ouroboros. You're talking about the Saturn moon matrix concept. But yeah, keeping humanity in cycles of reincarnation to basically harvest the energy, like I've been talking about, harvesting the genetics, and that's the whole game. That's what death is. We're not meant to die, and the hour that we are in right now, it's very strategic, because those along with myself and what we've been doing, in these higher realms, it's taken, I'll say, 15 years to get to where we are. And the things that I have faced on this path, coming up into this point, we have made much progress, and everything that.
Yeah, hi Max.
That was really bizarre. That was bizarre.
Everything that's happened in those realms is getting ready to start to manifest here, and I'm talking about the progress, okay? Because all of this is meant to end, but it's going to take a certain amount of people that are really going to see it for what it is and start, putting themselves in the position to become conduits for the higher force to work through, because it's not coming through the clouds, people, it's coming through you.
Exactly.
That's the function of this get together. That's the function of this.
Can I, Miles? Hang on. Max, you got off there. You were talking about recreation of sex.
My phone buzzed and cut me out. Yeah, so that was strange.
We were talking about I just written it down. Recreation of what happened in Set. What can you just?
Yeah. Okay. So what they do is they do a. Okay. So between Osiris and Set, they're doing a replay of that now. The war. That's why you have the Temple of Set. Anyway. So what happens? Set cut Osiris into 13 pieces and scattered his body across the planet, right? And then Isis found all the pieces. She only found 12 of them. She didn't find the phallus, and then she created the phallus out of gold. But what they do is they do rituals over and over of it's very nasty. They chop. They'll find a particular victim of a particular DNA, because they have to choose people of particular DNA, and then they will chop them into 13 pieces. And so what you were talking about, cutting limbs off and everything, well, they do that as a ritual. Just to tell you, okay. So when Isis found the 12 pieces and she molded the phallus into gold, she copulated with the put together Osiris, and then Horus was born, and Horus is Osiris reborn, and then the war continued between Horus and Set. Set then tricked Horus and took his left eye. He pulled his left eye out. So when you have this symbolism of everybody covering their eye, or you see it everywhere, covering that one eye, that is a ode to Set, saying, "Ha ha, we got Horus's eye," because Horus is the sun god. Who is supposed to be he is symbolic of the sort of savior. So he's like the savior. So when you see the covering of the eye, it's like it's saying Set it's saying Set took the good guy's eye. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. I had no idea of that. I didn't even have any idea.
It took your pineal away so that you can't see what's really going on. That's another way to see it.
It's one eye.
Well,
that one eye is the one.
Hang on. I think we're
system would fail if there wasn't something that needs to be said.
Interesting to talk about that.
If you talk again.
I can't hear Max.
Miles?
No, you're going off a little bit. Miles, I can hear me. Max?
Yeah. Miles?
Just.
Yeah, it's a standard. Use our intention to clear the line. We've got some scuttlers on the line.
As soon as I started talking about the Egyptian thing, everything shut down.
Yeah, it's intentional, so we can use our intention to fight it back.
Do you know why? Because that's exactly what is going on at the moment.
Yeah.
It's all coming out in the open, and I'm personally going to call them out on my end because it's we already know everything that's going on. What's the solution, right?
Okay, so the solution is
and what you talk about and what you're talking about with the dragon and the key, man. That's
There's a lot more I could tell you about that. Actually, right. Seth, that's like a maybe an hour show. Also, Miles, there's a whole big thing I'd like to talk to you about with the Krays, because the Kray brothers are very symbolic. You know, they also, you know, the K, the letter K is very important. K is the 11th letter of the alphabet. Okay, so when you have KK, that is 1111. And 1111 creates a Stargate, okay? So when you have 1111, it opens a Stargate or a portal.
Yes, it's interesting Max, it's interesting the resonant frequency for that portal in Ireland is 110 hertz. No, sorry, cycles.
110.
Yeah, 110 cycles per second, not hertz. Acoustic wave, okay?
Okay, so then you have 11. So then you've got there's a Stargate there.
So why are the Krays important? I don't understand.
The Krays are Kathy Morgan did a lot of work on this, and Angela Powers also done some work on this.
But what does it mean? I don't understand.
They're part of the MK Ultra program.
Oh, okay.
They're both MK'd. Then one of them is connected to deeply entrenched in the pedophile ring that's going on in the UK. The one that connects Cliff Richard, the one that connects Savile, the one. I mean, I don't want to. I could say all the names.
Why do they keep bringing out these movies?
Well say them. You might, Max. I would suggest you say them before this broadcast. I got a phone call from a local will-making company, and then. You know, that's a hint if anybody, just in case. You
can say them, Max. Go ahead.
Say them now, Max.
Yes.
Use the present.
I'm a little bit reserved on saying too many of them, that Miles, because
I think it's
the
fair.
Last time I did on this show, I started to get a lot of how would you say, being severely watched, but. A lot of them we know. A lot of the people that Bruce Forsyth.
I think Max, what you're basically saying is just about anybody that's appeared on BBC television as a primary entertainment.
The main ones, are deeply involved in it. Yeah, I mean, I'm talking about deeply. You cannot get a position where you're doing that unless you go through the specific rituals. You can't. Remember, all of the BBC really is run by MI6. It's the BBC is an MI6 run. The NHS and the BBC are run by MI6. And MI6,
Max Christine is an MI6 front agent.
Okay, that's I sense that. I'm connected.
You said that, Christine.
Well, I'm connected to that, Miles, aren't I? So, MI7, is the Zygote program. We were talking earlier about creating the creation of babies and putting them into the womb. Well, that's the MI7 Zygote program. Okay, there's not just MI5 and MI6. There's MI7, MI8, and MI9.
Yeah, there's all those.
Okay, and each one of those are a specific thing to connected to doing what MI7 was trying to do was put wombs in men. Okay, that they were trying to make it so that men could have children. So to basically get rid of any of the natural positive female. And there are people out there in the entertainment field. I'm not going to name names. The entertainment field and political field who have wombs, who have babies, who are males. And that once again is connected to the Baphomet. Eliphas Levi was the one who drew and created the modern day Baphomet. You know, the one which is the goat of Mendes, where with the hand pointing down and the hand pointing up, and has both genitalia, right? Eliphas Levi. He was a French magician in the 18th century. Crowley says that he was him in a past life. This is he was around, and it's a continuation of the work that who painted the Mona Lisa, Leonardo da Vinci did. Da Vinci again wasn't this fantastic man. He was also part of this great work of ages, which is to get rid of the positive female. Okay, when you go into Bohemian Grove, there is a sign that says "Weaving spiders do not enter here. Weaving spiders may not enter here." That means women may not enter, because they feel that the female is the positive feminine is a danger to the project that's going on.
And the divine feminine has been relentlessly attacked throughout the eons, man, because they do fear that power. They do fear that power, but that, people in my circle, and well, obviously we've been a network. We've spoken a little bit online, man.
Yeah.
It's the culmination of everything that's happened throughout the eons has led up to this point. It's very strategic what's happened.
Yes.
But we need to recognize the hour that we are in, and
we need to recognize that we are the ones who have the power. They've made us feel like we haven't. It's we're the ones who are the creators. They aren't. They can't create.
Right. They can't do what we can.
They've made us,
and that's why they want to write in on certain.
Say that again, Seth.
I keep cutting out. It keeps cutting out on me.
It's all right, brother. Go ahead.
I was just going to say.
Hello, Max, Seth?
I'm here.
Oh, sorry. I don't know. Miles is cutting out. Seth
it's all right.
is cutting out.
We're doing good, Christine. We're all right.
Normal service will be resumed in 30 seconds.
I don't know why.
Use our intentions to break through this veil.
So going back to the gods, Max, it's interesting that I had Mike Kaiser on, who's a biblical scholar, and he was talking about in the Bible and in the old books there is there's many gods, there's many of these lesser gods who launched an attack on the main creator, and the Vatican they cut them all out, but they're all there and they're all warring, and we can't.
Do you know all the gods are here right now in physical bodies, every single one of them?
Really?
Yes.
How do you know that?
Because I do. I know because there's just some things that are already encoded in my cells when I was born. But they're all here now for this change that's going to go on now, because nothing like this has ever happened before. So they've all incarnated down here now to go through this change, to experience it. Because the experience we're about to go through is like nothing else that's ever happened before.
Interesting. So where are the gods now? If the lesser gods are here, I mean, where's the overall god?
The overall God. The overall God is everything, isn't it? The overall God is just pure love that runs through every single thing.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Oh, Seth, you're there. Sorry, it sounded like you hung up.
Wow. No, I'm not hanging up. It's interference, straight up.
Miles, are you there too?
I'm
folks, rather than waste time saying, are we here? Because we've only got about 8 minutes left, just say what you got to say and keep it quick. Okay?
There we go.
So back to, okay.
And this will be published as a basis 37.
I would like to say that I want to say that Miles and I are speaking in Poland, in Warsaw, on April the 22nd at a global conference, which is going to be a big platform to put out what we're talking about now. And I think that that's going to be a big step forward. And excellent. I think it's going to be a massive shift and change. So
this is very important. It's in Warsaw, the Polish have woken up. They're really, really keen to find out more information about this. There's important reasons for that, which I think, Max, we discussed earlier, but involved certain things that the Germans, the so-called Nazis, did. But also there's a very good colleague, very important. There's a guy called Kieran Lee Perrin, who's a brilliant man in Croydon. It was really good to see you two meet for the first time. Yes. He's one of the TIs in England. He's got a head full of implants. He can prove it. And he helped paint this house here in Devizes, the middle of it. It's just outstanding.
So where can people get tickets for that then?
This is online. It's in Poland. It's in Warsaw, and that's a very good point. It's the global.
Well, you can go to if you can get Madeline. What's Madeline's last name, Miles?
And Nemo. I'll put this up on the link on this on the basis, which is going to go up as a basis 37.
Excellent.
Okay,
excellent.
Yeah. Put that up.
It's going to go up as a basis 37 because Max spoke. That's really a big Max basis, so it puts it all in one place.
Yeah. Okay, that'd be brilliant.
So it's fascinating what we've come to, and just to say quickly, you can reach me as Christine Joanna Hart Show. Reach me on Facebook, Christine Joanna Hart, and if you want to donate, my PayPal account is to keep me on air. My PayPal account is warnernews@sky.com, and please find me on Facebook. And on Wednesday, my next show, we're going to have Mike Heiser, and Mike Heiser is a biblical scholar who's just published his book, The Unseen Realm, and it's all about these ancient gods that we've come to the conclusion at this. We're talking about these lesser gods and the wars about the lesser gods. And he was saying actually that it's Shaitan doesn't exist. Shaitan is actually the word for attacker. And
or the adversary.
Yeah, and the what I didn't realize is it's one of the lesser gods that is causing all the trouble here. There was a covenant, I think something to do with the Garden of Eden, between this lesser god, and this lesser god is called the what is it called? The Lord of Death. I don't know which one. Have you heard of that, Max? Lord of Death?
The Lord of Death. You'd have to give me the name of it. There's lots that could go under that name.
Oh, right. He's one of the gods. There's probably many different names for him. But, I didn't even know that there was such a thing as lesser gods. And I went to my priest down at the Catholic Church and said, I didn't know there was lesser gods. I was brought up there was only one God, and you weren't even allowed to say there might be other gods.
It would be, how would you define the word God, though, really? We're talking about somebody who has more powers than a normal person.
I think the gods, they're just nearly as powerful.
We've spoken of this, Christine, on our last episodes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nearly as powerful as God Himself. I mean,
yes,
powerful. I mean, we're
This is a very strategic hour that we are in. A very poignant moment, and I'm calling for alliance, straight up, because without us coming together, without male and female coming together like it is on this show, those of us that know the difference, those of us that have been through the trials and have been through the fire to come up into this point.
I think I have to echo this statement from the Russians that Valery Uvarov says exactly the same. We've got to come together with our heart. Globally, forget the politics of petty little countries and petty little landlords who run these little fiefdoms. the human family of all different wonderful diversity must come together.
Yes, through center heart. Yes, centering yourself through heart. Yes, absolutely. I just want to say one other thing. I do readings, and I do work in readings. So if anybody wants to work with me on that, then just contact me through Facebook. So I'm just putting that out there.
Excellent, Max. Do people have to pay for that, or
there's donations? It's whatever anybody can donate.
Right.
Excellent.
And I'm going to be offering my services too here in the near future. I've been very busy working on my end. I got a couple projects I'm working on, but yes, this is.
I think
this is it.
Yeah, we are dealing with a spiritual process, but in this real world, fiscal elements are required, and that's the bottom line. Good luck. God bless everybody.
God bless.
Goodbye,
thanks very much.
That was. Thank you very much, guys. That was a wonderful show. Really appreciate it.
Thanks everyone, and thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Take care. God bless.